Hey, it's Catherine with Grief Inspired, and I want to take a moment or two to talk with you a little bit about a subsequent pregnancy after loss. There is nothing more devastating than losing a child, whether it be through miscarriage, through infant loss, through stillbirth, however it happens. It's devastating, and it's devastating because the second we find out that we're pregnant, the second that we know that we might potentially have a baby, we get so excited and we plan so far into the future. And when that doesn't come to fruition, it really weighs on us and it makes our hearts heavy. And if you're here because of that, you know. And then there's the excitement of being pregnant again. And for me, after my loss, I was desperate to get pregnant again because I was in my 40s, I was in my early 40s, and I was worried that that was it, that my time was ending, my fertility lifetime is ending, and you know, maybe it has, maybe it hasn't, I don't know, but it was devastating, and I was desperate to have another child, and when I got pregnant again, of course, I was overjoyed. But being pregnant again after a loss is a whole different kind of thing. And if you are pregnant with a subsequent pregnancy, I want you to know that you're not alone. And for me personally, it was so challenging because you want to be overjoyed and you want to be happy, but you're scared to be happy. And so, you know, early on, you don't want to tell anybody that you're pregnant because, oh my gosh, you don't want to have to go through telling people that you lost another baby. So you don't tell anybody. And I certainly didn't buy anything. I had taken back all of the things that I bought for my son Jackson after he passed away. And so I was anxious and I was nervous to buy anything for the baby that I was carrying because I didn't want to have to return it again, and I didn't want to let myself be happy. And I think that that's hard. And to be honest, it's hard all the way through delivery. I mean, it used to be, people used to say, well, hey, if you just get through the first trimester, everything's fine. Well, tell that to a mom who's had a late-term stillborn baby. Tell that to me, who thought it was fine passing the 25-week mark, only to have my son prematurely at 27 weeks. And so there really wasn't a time during my subsequent pregnancy when I was like, okay, we're safe now. My goal when I was pregnant with my son Mason, who is alive and well and amazing and going to be turning 8 this year, I was on hospitalized bed rest with him because my cervix had this funny way of opening and closing, and that's sort of what was the demise of my first son. And that's why he came prematurely. So I laid down for that whole subsequent pregnancy, and every day was scary. And whether you're having a fine pregnancy this time or not, whether you're up walking around or you're laying down because you're on bed rest, I think it's scary. And I think that you want to be happy and you want to be excited, but at the same time, you don't want that let down again. And so, you know, I got to the point with my pregnancy with Mason where we got to the 18-week mark, and they asked me, you know, if I wanted to have a cerclage, and that's when they basically sew you shut so that he can't come out. And they're explaining this to me, and they said, well, you know, this is what we recommend, and this is what we think you should do, but it's up to you. And keep in mind that there's a 5% chance that we might nick the amniotic sac when we're doing the actual cerclage. And if that happens, then your baby will die because the baby's only 18 weeks old. And so, impossible decision, like, what do you do? For me, I said, well, let's just do it because I want to give him the best chance of surviving. And honestly, I was at the point where I was so scared that I said, you know what, if I'm going to lose this baby too, I'd rather have it happen sooner in the pregnancy than later. And so again, it was nerve-wracking and it was scary. And, you know, I went into the surgery and I didn't know. And then I came out and I was like, well, am I still pregnant? And then every day beyond that was, you know, it really was, you know, when they talk about one day at a time, it really was one day at a time. And, And I was laying down and I was thinking every day, all I was thinking about, like, I know some people say that they're busy, and I wasn't busy. I was laying there and I had nothing else to do but to think about it. And that was really, really hard for me. And so if you are busy and you have other things going on, you know, that's good. But also take time to acknowledge what's going on with you, because yes, you can be excited, and yes, you can be scared. And I think all of those feelings are valid. And the truth of it is, you know, I used to wait, like, for when would I not be scared anymore? When would I be okay and know that my baby was safe? And for a while when I was in the hospital, it was okay, we had to get through the cyclage, and then it was okay getting to the 25 weeks, and then it was getting to the 27 weeks, which was the time when, you know, Jackson had been born. And so I was like, okay, I'm a little further along than he was. So my son Mason would be, you know, had a better chance of surviving, right? The older they get and the longer they're in the womb, the more they have a chance of surviving. At least that's what they tell you. And so I got to the point where I was like 32 weeks, and they were trying to basically kick me out of the hospital, because they're like, you'll be fine. You know, the baby will maybe be in the NICU for a few days, but no worries. And I had to fight to stay in the hospital a few more weeks, and I did. And I got Mason to 36 weeks before they made me go off of the medication that I was on that was basically keeping him in. And right after I went off the medication, I went into labor and had him. But, you know, it's not easy. And I just want to acknowledge that if you're going through a subsequent pregnancy, it's not easy. And the people around you, as supportive as they want to be, if they haven't lost a baby, if they don't understand, you know, the magnitude of what you went through and what that does to you mentally, wondering whether or not, you know, you can go through this again. The reality is that you can, that if you've lost a baby, you can get through another pregnancy, no matter which way the pregnancy ends, right? And if you have to be hopeful, and you have to believe, and hopefully you'll be right. And for me, I was right, and Mason was okay. And there's so much more to the story, but keep hope, and know that you have to just believe, and you have to believe that everything's going to be okay. And that's, you just have to do it one day at a time. So let me know if you're going through a subsequent pregnancy. Acknowledge what you're going through, write down how you're feeling, talk it out with other people, find somebody who understands. I think that's really important. Don't hold it in, because holding it in doesn't serve you, it doesn't serve anyone, and it's just not healthy. So you want to keep hope, you want to keep lightness, you want to capture every moment that is beautiful and happy. If you like being pregnant, I remember being overjoyed just to know that he was okay, even if it was just in that moment. Trying to treasure every single moment. And I think that that's the gift that I've received. One of the gifts that I've received through my loss and through my subsequent pregnancy is that, you know, every moment is a gift. And the you know, the few moments that I had, you know, holding my son and being able to be with him and holding him all the way through the end, I think is beautiful, and it was a gift for me. So just hang in there, and know that no matter what happens and no matter what the outcome is, you can absolutely get through this. You are not alone. If you found this video, you found me. Please continue to like and subscribe to my channel so that I can create more content for you. And if this video resonated with you, please let me know that too, so that I know that the content that I'm producing is helpful for you, because that's why I do this. I want to give you hope. I want to help you through the process, and I want you to know ultimately that what we're here for and what you deserve more than anything is the ultimate level of happiness. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you guys soon.